everyone. Welcome to Midwestern Front. You are watching segment number 7 of Bespoke, which is my web show. It's fashion news and opinion. I basically take the top stories from the fashion blogs as well as what's trending on Twitter, and I share with you my personal opinion on them. I know. You're welcome. Let's get started. Okay, so my top story is the building of the mosque at the World Trade Center. I know it seems a little bit off topic, but if you guys follow the mainstream media, you know that there was a plan in place and it was approved to build a mosque at the Ground Zero site. So, today, one of the Fox News personalities decided that he was actually going to be looking for investors in order to start his own business at the World Trade Center site. So he would like to do a gay club there. So I guess this is kind of an eye for an eye, leaves everybody blind, or kind of a tit for tat, that he wants to kind of fight back against the mosque with a gay bar. So I have come up with a perfect solution that I think will make everyone happy on what to do with that spot. Since there's so many people who are opposed to having a mosque there, and clearly there would be a lot of people, right or wrong, that would be opposed to having a gay bar there, my solution would be that we open a 24-hour Forever 21 at the site. I mean, it's doing really well at Times Square, and what better way to tell the terrorists that we win? We are a Western nation of unapologetic consumers, and a Forever 21 represents that better than no other. So, that is my piece. I'm kind of like the Madeleine Albright of retail, I guess, here. But I think that that would be a perfect solution on what to do with that space. What say you? Comment boxes below. I asked on Twitter what other things you guys thought that I should cover, since it's kind of been a slow fashion news week. And one of the suggestions was to talk a little bit about Michelle Obama and her trip to Spain, which has been uber controversial. So there are a lot of people who are really upset about the trip to Spain. Some people think that it's kind of in poor taste because of the way that the economy is going. She stayed in a luxury hotel that has like average rates of $600 plus per night. And then there's the issue of it costing the taxpayers because, you know, anytime you gas up, Air Force One costs a lot of money, as well as the Secret Service detail that, you know, obviously is protecting her while she's there. So she went over there with a group of friends and the youngest daughter, Sasha. I think it's Sasha, not Malia. I think it's Sasha. Anyway, so she went over there with her youngest daughter as well, and looked like they had a fantastic time. They were gone while President Obama celebrated his 49th birthday as well. So it was kind of like, I don't know, a girls' trip. And actually, I think one of her friends had a death in the family, so this kind of getaway was planned as a way to just, you know, take some time for themselves. And so, you know, obviously the interwebs were all, you know, afire with comments about, you know, her trip. And so I figured I would break it down, and I'll just let you guys know what everyone is so upset about. So we're going to read through the lines here. Now, here's the deal. Everyone is upset about Michelle Obama gallivanting in Spain because they figure, well, this is a girl of modest means from the south side of Chicago, and what on earth is she doing with this international travel and being so fancy in this $600 a night hotel? And I think they bought up a couple of floors there at the hotel. So I think that this is a class thing, totally. They probably figure she'd be just as happy as like Wisconsin Dells, you know, and why is she getting all brand new now that she's in the White House? That's what the deal is. However, I can tell you that this is a cultured woman. If you look at her history, there's no reason to think that she would not want to do some international travel now, that she hasn't done international travel in the past. So, but that's what I think it is. I think people are like, oh, she's so fancy now that she's in the White House. No, she's been fancy. She's a boss lady. So, I mean, come on, get with it. The other thing is, I think that people will all kind of aflutter or thrown back because she was away from her husband on his birthday. She's an independent woman. Did they think she was going to be at home in slippers and baking cookies? No. She's out in Spain with her girl. You go, Michelle Obama. Don't listen to those people. Okay, so now we're going to stay on politics for a moment because there's been a kind of meshing of the political world and the music world. Wyclef has decided to announce that he's going to run for president of Haiti. So, Sean Penn, not very happy about this. He's still got some questions about his organization, as well as questions about the young lady who was on the payroll and maybe an alleged mistress or something like that. So he's not really happy with the fact that he's running right now. And then Praz, also of the Fugees, said that he wasn't going to endorse Wyclef either. So I am going to hold my opinion because we need to know what Lauryn Hill thinks about all this. And once Lauryn speaks out, then I'll let you know where I stand. Got to get our ducks in a row here. Again with politics, but it is fashion related. Senator Chuck Schumer of New York, Democrat, has introduced legislation to protect fashion designers from having their designs stolen. I know the Senate has a lot on their plate, and he's putting this on there as well. But I guess it's probably a popular piece of legislation, and they shouldn't have any problem with getting it passed. And obviously, being a senator from New York, it's a very important industry. So he is working on this legislation and getting it passed so that some of the high street retailers won't be able to pounce so quickly on the designs that are put out on the runway, because it's a real problem that the designs go out during Fashion Week on the runway, and some of these other retailers are able to get it in stores before the original designers are able to get it in stores. So, I am a little bit on the fence about it. I mean, I don't do anything counterfeit. I do admire an inspired item every once in a while, and I do believe that, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But there are probably some retailers that are rethinking everything right now. I'm looking at you, Forever 21. So we'll see what happens with that legislation. I will keep you up to date on it. Okay, so my top story is Kanye West joining Twitter. Now, before you moan and groan and say that you've heard it all before, I know there are a lot of blog posts that are going in-depth into what Kanye's best tweet has been so far and his number of followers and how many people he's following, which coincidentally, he followed this one guy, and I think he was in the UK, and that he was going to be the chosen one, the lucky one, but then I think he unfollowed him. So I think the guy gave an interview about how he wasn't that big of a fan anyway, and so he unfollowed. So as of today, I think Kanye has, he's following 0 people. So we'll see. I'll keep you up to date on the changes. So anyway, I thought that I would do the top 10 things that Kanye West has taught us about Twitter, because I think we can learn a lot from him about social media. Number 1, less is not more. Okay, forget what your mom told you. Less is not more. When you're dealing with Twitter, you want to put everything on the field. I mean, leave nothing. Well, there's some details that you probably want to leave out of your day, but don't be shy. Make sure you put your whole personality into it. Number 2, you can't be everything to everybody, but you can be someone's everything. Okay, know your audience. Know what your audience is looking for from you. You're not going to be able to please everyone, but if you can find what that core group is looking for and target those people, then you're golden. Don't worry about anybody else. Number 3, and this is going to break a lot of rules that you've heard about Twitter. Number 3 is need not reply. That's right. You don't have to reply to everyone. If you tweet something fantastic and you get a lot of retweets and a lot of replies, let it hang out there. Let it marinate in its own glory for a little while. You don't have to jump right back on and thanks for the retweet or reply back to everything everyone says. Just bask in your greatness for a little while. Number 4, I love me. This was one of his infamous tweets. But it's important to remember that you need to have a healthy sense of self-esteem interesting if you want to get a lot of followers on Twitter, because no one wants to follow someone who has no confidence. I mean, it's all in the keyword follow, so keep that in mind when you're tweeting. Number 5, go international. Every once in a while, sprinkle in a word from a foreign language. Talk about a shirt that you got in Milan, a book that you picked up in Prague. People like that. It makes you a tweeter of mystery. Number 6, create your own language. Okay, so let's say that, you're not that great at Googling up how to say things in a foreign language. Create your own language. You need your own lexicon. For example, Kanye West, Kingish. As you know, he's working on making his living space more Kingish. So make up your own words. See what sticks. Number 7, be bonkers. All the best people are. So, you know how something pops into your mind and you're like, well, I'm not going to tweet that. That's completely crazy. Keep people on the edge of their seats. Go ahead and tweet something that's completely off topic, totally unrelated. People like that. They eat it up. Number 8, don't drop names, do drop brands. So it's very annoying when you hear, oh, I'm having lunch with so-and-so, or I'm at a premiere with so-and-so, or, we're on the front row of this fashion week and I'm with so-and-so. Forget that. That is old news. The new news is to drop brand names. Everybody appreciates that, and it makes you more relatable. So if you feel the need to drop something to let people know how important you are, let it be a brand name. Number 9, promote yourself and by extension your project. So you don't necessarily have to say, hey, visit my blog, or spam people with, hey, subscribe to my YouTube. I know, I'm an offender. You don't necessarily have to do that. Let's just say you don't have to do it every tweet, okay? Don't spam. Promote your personality. Get people to like you. Get people to buy your personal brand, and by extension, they will buy into your project. And finally, number 10, be notorious. So you know how we all have kind of that evil side of our personalities? You need to embrace that person. You need to embrace that alter ego, and you need to let it show every once in a while on Twitter, because people appreciate that as well, and it'll help you gain followers because, again, it makes you more relatable. So those are the top 10 things that we have learned thus far from Kanye West on Twitter. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate you stopping by my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. The button is right above if it's your first time here. Leave some comments below. Let me know if you have any tips of any stories that you'd like me to cover in the near future. And I will see you on the next segment.